Number one, hire a virtual assistant or an executive assistant. I just came off a show or in a mastermind with Cameron Harold, and he was on the podcast with this Franchise Story podcast long time ago. And one of the things that he said to me was, if you don't have an assistant, you are one. And you've probably heard me say that before, but I was one at the time. I didn't have an assistant. And so that was something that changed. And at times I've had an assistant, haven't had one, and I don't think I'll ever live without one now. But you can hire a virtual assistant, and maybe that's the best place to start. Maybe hire somebody to do the things for you so you don't have to do some of these tasks that are really just tasks. Pull out a piece of paper, write down all the things that you do every day. And on those, like, are you the only one that can do them, or can you pass that off to somebody else to do? And what kind of expertise does that person need to know to be able to do the thing that you shouldn't be doing anymore? So it could be a virtual assistant. What I did is I hired an executive assistant, somebody that is paid much more than a virtual assistant, but I know I can hand them something and say, please do this and figure it out. And that's what they can do. So that's Stacy. Caleb can send Stacy an email. I can send Stacy an email and say, hey, can you please do this thing? And she will figure it out or respond back to me like, here's what I'm planning to do. I'm not too sure if I should do this or if there's a better way to do it. In other words, if your executive assistant's not confident in it, they'll respond back to you and let them know to get your feedback. And then you can just give them feedback, and then they do it. And then the next time that they do something, you give them a task to do or a thing to do, they know how your brain works, and you just start doing less and less in the business. And it's fantastic. Like, the energy level that you get when you have people doing these things that you hate doing is amazing. So step number one, if you don't have an assistant, you need to get an assistant. Like, that is baby step number one. And just because you don't have one doesn't mean like you're a bad business owner by any means. It means you've been hustling and you've been making it work, and you might be in expansion mode or whatever, but slow down, hire an assistant, hire an executive assistant, because they can think and they can do the things, and then empower them to do it. And SOPs are probably a great way to help them be effective at their job. A standard operating procedure, just Google it and just start. And it's just, an SOP might be a work in progress too. So if you have an SOP on how to book somebody for a podcast, just get it started with 3 steps. Let them come back to you as they get hung up on what to do next. And that's how you create an SOP that becomes a really good, robust SOP. You just got to start. So just do me a favor, hire an assistant if you don't have one, and you'll start doing more effective, high value work in your business as a result of that.